Welcome to the 2025 New College of Florida Commencement Ceremony. Thank you for all being here this evening, and congratulations to the 2025 graduates. We're so excited to celebrate with you this evening. I also like to thank people who are here from our Board of Trustees. We have our chair, Deborah Jenks. We have Lance Karp. We also are honored to have with us today the Chancellor of the entire university system for the state of Florida, Ray Rodriguez. Sorry, you guys can sit down. That's a long time to stand. I just kept going. Thank you, Professor Rohrbacher. We also would like to give special recognition today for joining us is an internationally acclaimed sculptress, musician, artist, Michelle Marie Heinemann. She is the one who has graciously donated the flower tree as you came in that was right next to the greenhouse. It's named the Lady Banyan as a tribute to New College of Florida. The piece symbols strength, growth, and enduring beauty, honoring our graduates of 2025. Thank you, Michelle Marie, for your wonderful donation. This evening, we're going to begin with a talk from one of our renowned faculty members, a distinguished alumnus, and our student body elected speaker, and our commencement speaker this evening, Dr. Alan Dershowitz. I would first like to introduce our renowned faculty member, Dr. April Flackney. April has taught philosophy at New College of Florida for almost 25 years, earning her PhD from the New School for Social Research. She is the recipient of the 2023 Symposium Book Award from the Canadian Society for Continental Philosophy for her book, The Affection in Between. Following her time at Harvard University, she has been instrumental in shaping discourse at New College. Please welcome Dr. April Flackney.
Thank you so much. Thank you, President Corcoran. Thank you all for being here on this hot day. It's never been easy to graduate from New College. The rigor of our classes, the high expectations of your faculty, the need to engage in demanding independent research, and the freedom, which, as we know, is another name for responsibility, to write your own contracts and shape a truly individualized education. All of this can be overwhelming. So is leaving behind a small and intense intellectual community of friends and professors. Then there's the senior thesis. That's a fresh memory, so I don't think I need to say too much about that. It's a lot. It's a lot for a lot of students, and it always has been. But then there's this class, the class of 2025. All of them are sick of hearing about the many plagues, metaphorical and real, that they lived through that robbed them of their high school experience. I have to say, having lived through a normal high school experience, you didn't miss that much. But college is different. It's a whole different story, in fact. In college, you're exposed to new ideas. You're asked to read, absorb, match wits with some of the best works the human mind has ever produced. With any luck, some of these ideas will keep you up all night, ideally with a brilliant friend, or 8 of them, and these conversations are ones that you'll never forget. And soon you'll find that even when you're talking about nonsense stuff, passing the time, there's an extra bit of wit or a reverberating hollow because you took the seminar table and you took those great books and you took them to the dining hall and to the bayfront and to the banyan tree and everywhere else with you. The ancient Greeks, and then much later, Nietzsche, suggested that the best friendships have an agonistic quality, a camaraderie built of confronting challenges together while constantly striving to excel and pushing others to excel in order to have a community worthy, well, of you, of yourself, in your excellence, in whichever way excellence manifests to you. The best residential liberal arts colleges will strive to give you those experiences, among many other things. So many of you came to New College with big plans and embarked on those studies and those friendships, only to have everything get, well, strange? That's a Mad Libs. You can fill in your own word for that. A little strange midway through. A lot of your friends left, and a lot of your mentors left. But you're here today. You're here today because you stayed, and there may have been a lot of reasons why you stayed. Maybe it was curiosity or stubbornness or a commitment to yourself, to New College, to a parent, to a friend, or maybe to the future itself. Or maybe in your curiosity and your determination, you sense that even here, in this bizarre moment, there's a possibility, a demand that calls on you to explore and see where it takes you. That's very New College. I'm sure there were times when you questioned your choice, but you are here, and you know what? You did it. You made it. You demanded your personalized liberal arts education, the one you were promised. And that personalized liberal arts education is the beating heart of New College, and it's what we're going to stick to through thick and thin, just like you stuck to your career here, your time here. My colleagues and I, all of them, old ones and new ones, we very much tried to make sure that you got that individualized liberal arts education, the best one we could provide. You lived complexity, you didn't just learn about it. Beloved teachers left, and you met amazing new faculty who brought new perspectives and new expertise for you to learn from. You lost some classmates to other schools, to other plans, but maybe you met someone you weren't so sure about at first, but then you talked and you glimpsed surprising points of overlap and a new, renewed position. Maybe that happened. Honestly, I've seen that happen. One way to look at this is that you got two colleges for the price of one. I even thought about calling it Two College. Yeah, I reconsidered that, doing that. Not just because it's in bad taste, but because what you got, class of 2025, was much more than bifocal. What you got was loud and disorienting and multifocal. It was dizzying and mad and sometimes maybe even nauseating. But it was also, in its own way, so New College. Unique, heightened, individual, challenging, life-changing. And now you get to put on those fancy multifocal spectacles, the ones you earned in the hardest possible way, and test them in the really nuts world out there and see how they suit for a what the heck just happened landscape of young adulthood. I can't wait to hear where you end up, to see what you see, and hear about what you do. It's never been easy to graduate from New College, but change also brings strength. It tests which of your beliefs were accidental and failed to stand up straight, squinting in the light of day. And it teaches you which of them need to be fostered and defended. In many ways, you will be ahead of your peers at more protected places, and not just academically, as New College graduates always were. Change brings strength. It allows you to know it, to grow it, and now you get to show it. Thanks for seeing this through with us. And 2025, congratulations.
Thank you, April. Next, I'd like to introduce our accomplished alumnus, Adam Kendall. Adam graduated from New College of Florida in 2002, and driven by his passion to serve the community and support his alma mater, he has served in many leadership roles in the community in the arts, government, and nonprofit sector. As a senior portfolio manager and family wealth advisor, CFP, he has made significant contributions to both his profession and the college. He served on the New College Alumni Association from 2005 to 2010 and is currently the chairman of the New College Foundation Board of Directors. Please welcome Adam Kendall.
Good evening, graduates, faculty, families, and friends. It's an honor to stand before you as a proud New College alumnus of the class of 2002, celebrating the extraordinary class of 2025. I offer you my heartfelt congratulations on this very special day. When I sat where you are over 2 decades ago, I was a freshly minted economics graduate, armed with theories about markets, incentives, human behavior, and a new college education that taught me how to think, not what to think. I landed an internship in my 2nd year and earned my Series 7 license as an independent study project. That became the foundation for my career in finance, where I work now as a senior portfolio manager and certified financial planner. Back then, the world faced events like the 1998 Asian financial crisis, the 2001 September 11th attacks, and the 2002 Euro adoption. Moments of economic turmoil, global conflict, and systemic change. Sound familiar? Today in 2025, we navigate trade tariffs, conflicts like the war in Ukraine, and climate crises like hurricanes and wildfires. Then, as now, the world felt unpredictable. Yet New College's spirit of inquiry equipped me to thrive, and it has done the same for you. Since graduating, I found ways to give back, working with the last 4 administrations in various capacities, serving 5 years on the Alumni Association, and now as chair of the New College Foundation. This place shaped me, and it's been an honor to help shape it in return. New College is a haven for the curious, those who ask why when others accept because. You've spent years here wrestling with big ideas, challenging assumptions, and writing and defending a thesis. As an economics student, I learned to analyze systems, how resources flow, how decisions ripple, how scarcity and choice shape our world. But New College taught me something deeper. The systems we study are human, messy, and full of possibility. And you graduates are now equipped to shape those systems. Let's talk about the world you're entering. It's 2025 and it's complex. Global challenges like technological disruption, climate change, and economic inequality are front and center. As someone with an economics background, I could bore you with data on GDP growth or labor market trends, but let's be real. You're New College grads. You already know how to dig into the numbers. Instead, I want to share with you 3 lessons from my journey that I hope will guide you as you leave this bubble of intellectual freedom. First, embrace the unknown. The 2001 attacks and today's trade disputes show life is unpredictable. My internship and Series 7 licenses were leaps into the unknown, opening unexpected doors. New College taught you to chase curiosity. Take that first step, even if the path isn't clear. Second, build connections. Economics emphasizes self-interest, but New College showed me the power of community, whether through lively academic discussions or shared passions. Invest in people. Listen, support, and lift others up. Your greatest opportunities will come from these connections. Finally, give back with purpose. My work with the Alumni Association and the Foundation has shown me that giving back amplifies your influence. New College taught you to question and create. You have the tools to tackle big problems or help one person at a time. Start now, where you are, with what you have. As I look at you, I see the fire that I felt in 2002, a fearless mix of idealism and grit. You're not just graduates. You're new college graduates, part of a legacy that redefines what is possible. So be unapologetically you. Ask tough questions. Build something meaningful. And maybe, in 20 years, come back to tell the class of 2045 how you changed the world and how you gave back. Congratulations, class of 2025. Your journey begins now, and I can't wait to see where it takes you. Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. Next, I'd like to introduce the student speaker elected by the student body, Safari Svensson. Originally from New Jersey, Safari began his studies at Brookdale Community College before transferring to New College of Florida to pursue a degree in computer science. During his time here, he has demonstrated exceptional leadership as president of the Sailing Club, vice president of both the ACM and the chess clubs, and Senate pro tempore in the student government. After graduating, he plans to return to the Northeast to advance his career in software engineering. I was not on this campus for maybe 8 hours, and Safari Svensson's name was mentioned to me. And then I said to David Rancourt when he came here, and I said, hey, have you heard of Safari? He goes, he came to me, he said, hey, I was playing basketball. Who are you playing with? He goes, I was playing with Safari Svensson. Everybody knows Safari. My son goes here, and I said to my son, hey, have you met this guy, Safari? He goes, oh yeah, everyone's friends with Safari. But it's an honor to be able to sit, and we are so excited about what you're about to say. Safari?
Can everyone hear me all right? As many of my fellow graduates already know, I've long been captivated by the emblem of the lion, drawn to its enduring symbolism of strength, fearlessness, and resilience. I've even been known, on occasion, to characterize myself through that lens. But if there's one fundamental truth about lions, it's this: they are nothing without their pride. And like the lion, I would be nothing without my own. My mentors, my family, my friends, and the unwavering, relentless support they've shown me through my journey. You know, 4 years ago, before I ever attended a class at New College, experienced a center of the universe party, or let my friends convince me to climb way too high up in the banyan tree, I was working 60-hour weeks in a tiny Brooklyn kitchen, barely scraping by under the poverty line. A series of tragic health issues would cost me my job and soon my apartment. There at 19 years old, I had no home, no money, and seemingly no future. I found myself living unhoused, jumping between friends' couches, and even sleeping in a tent in the woods. All the while battling Lyme's disease, mono, and kidney stones, all at the same time, a trifecta I would not recommend to anyone in the audience. There I was at my lowest. The idea of going to college wasn't even some distant dream, let alone attending a prestigious honors college. And yet, standing here today, about to graduate, I'm still in shock that what once felt so beyond my reach is now my reality. And this degree isn't just some proof of my studies, no. A testament to the struggles, sacrifices, and perseverance it took to earn it. But my story isn't so unique, is it? As I look into the crowd, I see so many faces and remember the challenges and stories behind them. Of academic pressure, of loss, battles with mental and physical health, of financial hardship and poverty. While each of our paths here and our individual struggles may be unique, there is one clear thing that unites us. Every single person crossing this stage today has had to fight, to endure, and to persevere to get here. Every graduate here carries their own story of resilience, a story of sacrifice, a story of setbacks and defeats, but more than anything, a story of success. And although I am graduating as a computer science major, my first semester here at New College, I had the privilege of taking a classics course with Provost Rohrbacher. In the class, we got to read Virgil's Aeneid, about the story of Aeneas and his battle to find a new home and security for his people. A journey rife with constant hardship and setbacks. And you know, there was always one quote that stuck with me from this Roman epic. Tune cede malis, sed contra audentior ito. For those of us not too brushed up on our Latin, it reads, do not yield to misfortunes, but advance more boldly against them. Now, this quote isn't just some old poetry because I see that as a challenge that everyone here, every graduate, has risen to over and over again. And I'll be honest, the struggles we have had to overcome until now may just be the beginning. But when hardship comes knocking again, and trust me, it will, do not give in to fear, self-doubt, and defeat, but remember exactly what it took to get here today. You have already faced the fire, you have climbed the mountain and defied the odds. When that next challenge comes, meet it head on, with the confidence of someone who doesn't just meet expectations, but exceeds them. Someone who doesn't just follow a curriculum, but creates one. Someone who can hear no time and time again, and doesn't just back down, but takes it as a challenge to prove them wrong. Because there is no obstacle too large, no setback too big, no barrier that's too hard to break for a new college graduate.
You can understand why Safari is such a rock star on this campus. Now it's an immense honor to introduce tonight's commencement speaker, Dr. Alan Dershowitz, an instrumental figure in law, civil liberties, and education whose extraordinary career spans over 6 decades. With unparalleled intellect and fearless dedication, Professor Dershowitz has shaped the legal landscape through his, and I'm going to pause here because last night I had to introduce him and I said 55 books, and then I found out he's on number 58, so I got it right this time. Through his 58, soon to be 58 books, over 1,000 articles, and a landmark cases that have defended the rights of dissidents, leaders, and everyday citizens alike. Graduating first in his class from Yale Law School and serving as the editor-in-chief of the Yale Law Journal, he went on to teach 10,000 students at Harvard over 50 years, including many of today's global leaders. Hailed as the world's best-known lawyer and a fierce defender of civil liberties, he has litigated and won hundreds of cases across multiple countries, often pro bono, representing figures like Anatoly Sharansky, Václav Havel, and Julian Assange. Nobel Peace Prize laureate Elie Wiesel once said, "If there had been a few people like Alan Dershowitz during the 1930s and the 1940s, the history of European Jewry might have been different." At 86, he remains an active writer and consultant while cherishing his time with his wife of 39 years, Carolyn, who is also with us here today. There are 3 children and 2 grandchildren. Today, we are deeply privileged to honor him with a Doctor of Laws degree from New College, voted on by the faculty, and to welcome him to deliver tonight's commencement address. Please join me in giving a heartfelt welcome to Professor Alan Dershowitz.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got it? We're getting a picture too, David. Here, Professor Dershowitz.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this great honor. I have to tell you, though, that speech by Safari, I have been to more college graduations than any of you want to think about over the last literally 70 years. I started college 70 years ago, and this was absolutely outstanding. If this is what your college produces, you should be so proud, and you should all be proud of your friendship with Safari. I want to talk to the graduates. You are such a fortunate group of people, a fortunate generation, to be part of a revolutionary movement, and that's what it is, that's occurring and starting and centered right here on this campus. Let me be very clear about that. New College may be the model for saving higher education from continuing its descent into ideological abyss of propaganda instead of neutral, objective teaching, learning, scholarship, and research. One of your previous speakers talked about the goal of education, not to teach you what to think, but to teach you how to think. And in my 50 years of teaching at Harvard, I never once expressed a personal view on any subject in any classroom. That's not the job of the professor. My job was to make conservative students smarter conservatives, liberal students smarter liberals, and everybody in the class better able to think through their own philosophies and their own future. New College is standing tall against intolerant political correctness that endangers free speech, academic freedom, fundamental liberty, and as we saw just 2 days ago in Washington, D.C., safety and security. Even the decision to invite me here, and thank you for doing it, took a little bit of courage. We heard the national anthem, and it talked about the land of the free, the home of the brave. Justice Scalia put it very well in one of his opinions when he said, you cannot be the land of the free unless you're also the home of the brave. And this school has shown a degree of courage by inviting me, because we know there were protests, there were arguments in some of the local newspapers. They thought I was an inappropriate speaker because of who I had represented as a lawyer, including the President of the United States and some of the most unpopular criminal defendants that ever walked the earth, most of whom were guilty. And thank God for that. Would anybody want to live in a country where the majority of people charged with crime were innocent? That would be Iran, that would be China, that would be other repressive countries. We represent, as lawyers, the guilty along with the innocent. It started, obviously, with John Adams, when he was asked to represent the most unpopular people in Massachusetts, the British soldiers who were charged with committing the Boston Massacre. And he did it. And he did it well, and he did it over strong objections. if there were constraints on who you represented, there would have been opposition to inviting to this podium Abraham Lincoln, Thurgood Marshall, guilty along with the innocent. And that's why it's so important to have neutral standards of civil liberties. The idea of protesting a lawyer for who he represented is only a symptom of a much deeper problem. The deeper problem is the idea of free speech for me, but not for thee. Due process for those who you support, but not for those who you oppose. Academic freedom, only for views that are acceptable, but not for views that are unacceptable. All of these, say it again? I'm happy to answer anything. What are you saying? You're talking about genocide? Well, let me talk about genocide. Gender studies. We'll talk about this in a second, but I'm opposed to all ethnic, gender, religious, and other departments. I'm happy to have courses in any of those subjects, but I believe that when you set up departments that are specific, they tend to become advocacy platforms rather than academic, neutral searches for the truth. But you have the right to protest that, and I'm not telling any university what to do. I'm just, as you said, I have expressed my views in publications elsewhere, and will continue to do that. So the question is, will a university pass what I call the shoe on the other foot test? Will it apply the same principles? For example, you say there should be a course on gender studies. That's fine. But what if a professor wanted to teach a course which was against transgender rights or against gay rights? Would a university do that? Of course not. Should they do that? Of course not. Universities have to be neutral. They have to be forums in which views of every kind are allowed to be expressed. So when you ask for something, always ask what the implications of that are if your enemies seek to then capitalize it and propose other courses or other standards of free speech. So I believe what's going on college campuses today is much deeper than the current controversy between, say, for example, President Trump on the one hand and Harvard University on the other hand. You saw that the Trump administration cut off funding and also disallowed students from other countries to come in. Now, those go too far, and those are way, way overbroad. But there are serious problems at universities. And I have a 10-step proposal, and I got the 10-step proposal in part from what this great school is doing. Not all of the things I propose are being done here, and not all of the things that are being done here I support. But I will give you my 10 ideas that will help make universities and return them to their status of neutral places of teaching students how to think. Number one in importance, a return to meritocracy, broadly defined. I don't mean grades, I don't mean SAT or LSAT scores. I mean deciding what merits, what kind of qualifications should be permitted, and then not deviating from that in admission standards, in faculty promotion, and faculty hiring standards. Second, a return to rigorous, meritocratic, blind grading. Now, many universities which have had non-meritocratic admissions have followed that with non-meritocratic grading. Why? Because if the non-meritocratic admissions have resulted in a reduction of standards, they don't want anybody to know that. And the best way to hide that is by not having grades, by not having evaluations, and then you can make all the claims you want as to how wonderful the new admission criteria have resulted in great students. The end of the non-meritocratic DEA, diversity, equity, and inclusion regimes and bureaucracies that have hurt universities and have caused and promoted bigotry. Here's the one that I got a comment about. The end of ethnic, gender, regional, religious, sexual preference, or other identity-based departments, including, by the way, Jewish studies. I would oppose that as well, or Israel studies, or Holocaust studies. Any of these things should not be departments, studies, programs, or other advocacy centers that have become incubators for bigotry and for narrowness of thinking. The end of intersectionality as a justification for treating some people as oppressors and other people as oppressed on the basis of group affiliation. A reduction of globalization, and I wrote this before President Trump issued his orders about visas for foreign students. A reduction in globalization and the prioritization of a more domestic focus. We have so many problems in this country. We have so many students who deserve a great education in this country. We don't have to do what Harvard did. 35% of the student body are from outside the country. That's just too much and too far. A deliberate effort to create a more intellectually, ideologically, politically, and economically diverse student, faculty, and bureaucratic community. The application of a single standard of free speech, academic freedom and discipline. Number 9, the creation and support for a cultural environment in which every member of the community is judged on the basis of the content of their character, their efforts, their achievement, as well as other meritocratic individual criteria, rather than group affiliation. And finally, the creation of governance mechanisms and criteria that foster the above values. Now, even if every one of these things is accepted, it will not guarantee a return to universities as centers of learning. But without these changes, without every single one of them, the future is bleak and heading in the wrong direction. You know, there's an old joke that says, a pessimist says things are so terrible, they can't possibly get worse. An optimist says, yes, they can. And I am partly a pessimist and partly an optimist. Things can get worse. The current directory is definitely not going to produce the kind of academies that we want for the future, but they can get better as well. And we have to prioritize human rights issues. To everything, there is a season. There was a season when other people's rights and discrimination against other people took center role, and for good reasons, We have a terrible history of racism and of sexism and a range of other terrible isms in our country. But today, one of the greatest human rights issues that confronts us is the globalization of anti-Semitism. We saw a result of it just a few days ago in Washington, D.C. And if you're a human rights activist, if you're a civil liberties, a civil rights activist, do not ignore anti-Semitism. That must be on your agenda. If you march for other people's rights, do it, but also march for equality and the rights of Jewish people. Be on the right side of history. Don't be what so many students were in the 1930s, when Harvard welcomed Nazi students and German students, and Harvard welcomed professors who were Nazis. They were on the wrong side of history. Be on the right side of history. And now a warning to the good people, the really good people of this university. There is always a temptation to do unto others as they would do unto you. And we know that many on the left and the woke philosophy and the intolerance have victimized people on the right. We know that to be a fact. Every bit of empirical evidence suggests it. Now, my warning is to the right. Don't do the same thing to the left. Don't try to get even. Don't try to turn a university into a platform for conservatism, a platform for right-wing ideology, a platform for unwokeism. Be neutral, be objective, understand what the role is. The role is not to persuade people to a political philosophy. The role of the university is to persuade them to be better thinkers, to persuade them to do better research, to persuade them to do better writing. I'm going to end with a dramatic statement that I think many people might disagree with. but that is, today's academia could survive without Harvard or without Yale. I do not believe today's academia can survive and thrive without New College. So go forward, change the world, make things better for everybody, and become part of history. Thank you very much.
First, tonight we celebrate the extraordinary scholar students among our graduates. I'm proud to honor those students who have earned prestigious fellowships or scholarships. If you are a recipient, will you please rise so that the audience may recognize your remarkable achievements? We are now reached an important part of the ceremony, the conferring of degrees. I would like to introduce our Provost, Provost David Rohrbacher.
Good evening and congratulations. Would the master's degree graduates please rise? By the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Master of Science in Applied Data Science from New College of Florida.
Logan LaPlace. Timothy Agramov. Rosemary Ann Mejia. Sujit Sivadanam. Raymond Bedini II. Matthew Wilcox. Hannah Butsko. April Ainsworth. Randy O'Toole.
Would the bachelor's students please rise? By the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Bachelor of Arts from New College of Florida.
Alexander Town. Brianna Corley. Abigail Alcott. Jasmine McCassler. Is Damiras. Isaiah Johnson. Jaylee Totten. Viviana Meneses. Bernadette Estrada Brown. Adriana Mateo Lopez. Nancy Siguenza. Jessica Roberts. Matthew Senecal. Megan Waters. Stephen Payne. Fiona White. Christopher Dejet. Melody Fulmer. Alexis Holiday. Jada Prignano. Jacob Platko. Landon Morrison. Andres Rivera Calderon. Fernando Rivera Calderon. Pablo Sarmiento. Charles Knowlton. Maria Acosta Ramirez. Chase Chadwick. Anthony Mark Griffith. Anson Roman. Chase Wink. John McIntosh. Cecilia Robin Louise Lash. Betsy Lopez. Sarah Ann Williams. Owen Yanovich. T. Jones. Annika Fuller. Sierra Tubbs. Kira McElveny. Charity Fisher. Veronica Jolly. Penelope Donetti. Isabel Rice. Nisreen Kadai. Samantha Baker. Olivia Mickelson. Nikita Razdan. Mark Kriski. Molly Erickson. Sydney Hayes. Sonia Swanson. Sarah Malikson. Adam Smoker. Annika Forster. Brianna Baron Marino. Jillian Salvetti. Lydia Ubry. Haley Harris. Jacob Schreck. Aaron Flanagan. Jennifer Stegman. Safari Svensson. Andrew Koenig. Luke Hierding. Corbin Martin. Hannah El-Halabi Sanchez. Alexis Pollock. Colin Jeffries. Noah Tyler. Raymond Odian Floyd. Jesse Roman. Hannah Joy Barker. Han Nguyen. Wes Farmer. Robert Pascal. Ryan Fortune. Christian Gulgin. Natalia Benavides. Gray Henry and Goose. John State. Adonis Canaris. Jack Scott. Jordan Clark. Leilana Rose. Denicia Finney. Sarah Bartels. Sarah Jane Engels and Justice.
Would the associate degree recipients please rise? By the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Associate of Arts from New College of Florida.
Galen Anderson. Isabella Cruto.
Let's have a round of applause for our graduates. Graduates, in celebration of your remarkable achievement, please join me in moving your tassels from the right to the left, officially marking your passage as a New College alumni. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for this momentous occasion. Please remain in your seats to allow the students and faculty to make the exit. Once the recessional is complete, I invite all of you to join us in Robertson Park, right to my left, your right, to celebrate the newest graduates of New College of Florida. Will the platform guests, faculty, and graduates please stand for the recessional? Go ahead. We'll go out in the way we hang. Ray? You're second.